Hi everybody, a very good morning. I'm back. We're back and we have a brand new launch here on Carnation Crafts TV. Great to have your company. Great to see you again, and you're going to have so much fun over the next hour. We are bringing you only our second ever launch of a brand new collection here on Carnation Crafts, and it's called Nature in Motion. Now, I know many of you bought a collection called Nature's Grace, which was out around about a year ago or so. This follows on beautifully from that, so add that to your existing collection and it's going to go beautifully well. But equally, this is stand-alone beauty. You can buy this if you've never bought Carnation Crafts before, and it will work as a fantastic collection. I think they knew that one of my favourite things in life are deers and stags, and that is what features in here, so I'm over the moon. Look who I'm with.
Oh, lovely face.
Hello, love. How are you?
I'm really well.
Lovely Carla's here. So good to be back with you.
I know, we've had such a nice morning as well.
We have, haven't we? Catching
Totally
up.
made him a bacon butty this morning.
Absolutely.
It's all good. It's all good. Not you. Not you, Taz. You missed out.
Now remember, we're totally live and totally interactive. You can get in touch with us through Facebook. That's what you're monitoring on your laptop.
Yes, I am.
I've got YouTube, and I've also got the email here as well. The email is studio@carnationcrafts.co.uk. If you want to get in touch and say hello and interact with us today, we'd love that. But let's have a little look at the collection straight away. There's the product code. It's 220414, the item number, if you'd like to order this. And you can order it, of course, through our shop at our website, which is carnationcrafts.co.uk. It is stunning. You're going to get all of these wonderful animals here. You've got the vaulting deer, you've got the through the seasons, you've got the flighted kingfisher, you've got the elegant owl and the peonies with poise. As well as that, you're going to get these silver birch nesting dies, the squares, the rectangles, and also the circles as well. And as ever, all the artwork, the vignettes as we like to call them, are on the website right now. In the shop area, just go to carnationcrafts.co.uk and you can print off all the artwork right now. You haven't got to wait for that, and it's free to do that as well. And there's even vignettes and artwork for the silver birch frames. How exciting!
I know, it's really cool.
Yep.
It's such a beautiful collection.
Now you can, of course, spread the cost if you want to with PayPal Pay in 3, and also ClearPay is there as well if you want to use either of those things, or you can pay in full with a debit or credit card. And no matter where you are watching around the world, welcome to Carnation Crafts TV. Also, I've just got to give you a heads up. If you took part in the promotion that we've been running at Carnation Crafts recently, where we asked you to subscribe to YouTube, like a Facebook post, and then tag a friend in, we're going to give 2 people a £500 credit to their account, or the equivalent if you're in America or Canada or wherever you may be. And we'll announce those winners a bit later on in this show. Okay, Carla.
It's me that
What have you dropped?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't bend over because my belt keeps on doing.
Could
so
be
if my
interesting.
belt suddenly pings in the middle of the show, just ignore it. We'll just ignore it and we'll carry on.
Ratings will soar.
Or drop, whichever way. Right, so we have got the most gorgeous collection. For those of you who joined me yesterday on Facebook, you have had a sneak peek. I do know that lots of you have already bought the collection. Unsurprisingly, because it is absolutely stunning. So let's have a look at what you're getting here. You've got here this beautiful, beautiful owl. It's the elegant owl, and you can see all the detailing on that. The artwork is absolutely extraordinary. So if you look at all the shading lines, all of the aspects that are coming into it, more importantly, all of the cut lines on those feathers means that we can individually shape out every single feather. It's just really pretty, and they all go together so well. Just a note to state that you have got a split die, which means you can do an over the edge card. That'll be our first demo today.
Yep.
And then we've got your mats, and then you've got your actual die.
That hasn't Nick the artist captured the movement and the flight of the owl brilliantly.
Right? It's so pretty, and I just look, it's all the detail, every single feather piece taken in. You know, we were talking yesterday on Facebook about the fact that you know, Nick's artwork is what makes Carnation so special. It's what makes
Unique.
it stand out, doesn't it? Because we get an actual piece of artwork.
Carla, you're not going to believe this.
Go on.
Already 10% of the stock is
Yeah,
gone.
I'm not surprised.
10% gone. We've been on air, what, 3 minutes?
Yeah, it's going to fly. It is. It's the most gorgeous collection. Somebody's putting on here, love the nails, Carla.
Ah, yeah, I was just about to mention
They're
that.
not real, they're pretend, they're fake. And also I glued myself to them this morning, so I've got all kinds of glue on my hands.
And you can't open anything either.
Can't open anything, can't fill my glue, so I've had to put Dave to work this morning. I do apologise to all. You've got the gorgeous, gorgeous kingfishers here, which are the flighted kingfishers. And I was saying yesterday that we had a collection out not long ago. It's about 4 collections ago, 5 collections, so I can't remember, but it had a kingfisher in it called Linda. So this is just Linda in different poses now. Linda's like doing a whole calendar, and so we've now got, you know, January, February and March. So I'm
Only
just letting
you
all
would
know.
call a kingfisher Linda.
I think it's a very regal name for a kingfisher.
Oh yeah, it works.
So Linda here for, February is just beautiful. So you can look at the span on the wings is just really gorgeous. Now, when you start to think of that in lines of curvature for circular cards or for oval cards, those wings are going to sit perfectly in that dimension. So really, really beautiful. And then we've got this gorgeous, gorgeous flighted one. Now, we showed you this yesterday. There's a magic trick with this. Have I left a random Linda?
Oh,
No.
yeah, there was one.
No, there was a random Linda somewhere. Did I leave a random Linda?
There you go.
Just to very quickly show like we did yesterday, because this is really important. When you buy these ones and you get them home, Nick has designed them for sculpting in a very specific way. So the lines that come down here are designed so we can pinch down. So the body shape is there and the head is there. And then you can pull each wing forward. So she is actually then in motion.
That is the Carnation difference, isn't it?
That's the Carnation difference.
They think of everything.
You can also do it in its opposite as well. So you can pull those forward these ways and pull those wings down.
You can make a Kingfisher mobile.
Yeah, you literally can. Like we're moving away from your basics of card making and we're moving into sculpting and forming. And
you probably noticed there, remember the vignettes can either be single-sided or double-sided. You choose what you print off on the website.
That's entirely correct. Look at those.
I know. These are your posies with poise.
Easy for you to say, dude.
Not.
So, aren't they pretty, 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 pretty? You can use these as decoupage elements. Obviously, there is all aspects there that you can add in and use as decoupage, but mainly on the whole, I've used them separately as separate elements because they're really stunning anyway, and it means that we can extend out. So, for instance, if you wanted to kind of make it a circle, you'll notice that this one's a corner and this one is a curvature, like a semicircle. If you want to form that in a full round, you can use two of these together and you can place one of those in the centre at either side, and it creates this sort of beautiful circle motion that goes round. Again, each one split dies, mats, and your main die as well with that artwork. So you've got all of this going on together. It just looks really, really beautiful. I'm just going to do a note just very quickly. On Facebook, I can see that people are sending stars. Now, I haven't properly checked into this, but I've got a feeling stars cost money. So please, you don't need to send stars. There's no reason. I don't know how it works, but please don't send them because I don't know what it means.
No, I don't know what it means.
Yesterday, they started to say they were going to activate a stars party, and I didn't know if we had to dance. I don't want
Just
to
send
dance.
us messages. That's all we want. Just say hello. Say who you are, where you're from. We'd love to hear from you.
So, I know,
God.
look, the vaulting stag, vaulting deer, isn't that absolutely stunning?
And because you can do the double-sided vignettes, you could have a lefty and a righty. They could be kind of having a little bit of a get-together, if you know what I mean.
I'm going to move swiftly on from that card. They could be having a hoof party. So, just to let you know that the span from horn to hoof is 20 centimetres. He is quite the chap, is that stag. Just stunning, stunning, really majestic, isn't it? And again, that artwork. We were saying yesterday, when you look at all the sort of musculature in here, where each part can be shaped out separately, you will really start to get a huge amount of dimension on this chap. And we were saying yesterday on the Facebook how gorgeous this would be with tartan behind it, with name plaques on it, all those things at Christmas. And also actually just cut it out. And if you've got some Elevate to make that thicker, if you leave the backing paper on, how gorgeous would that be as just an ornament at Christmas?
Hello, June Smith. Our first message on YouTube this morning. She says, Carla, saw the preview yesterday. Wow. Had to purchase it last night and it's coming out to me. Yippee!
Oh.
Absolutely. I tell you what, the last one that we did about 4 or 5 weeks ago, a lot of people were saying that they ordered it on the evening before the actual live show, and some of them were getting it the day after.
Yeah, I know, because Carnation are crazy, crazy good at literally, the warehouse staff are there. When the orders come in, they literally are packing and shipping as they go. Huge shout out to the warehouse team because they are amazing. And I did speak to lovely Lynn this morning. I won't repeat what we're talking about, but I did speak to her and she's very, very lovely. We're going to move on to this beautiful light work here, and there is going to be a name for this, but it's on the back of my board. Light work feather fan.
Yep.
I knew the things. So these are really, really important because they give us texture and dimension to the back of our cards. So it's that aesthetic. If you've got a white background and you have this on and you don't create any dimension, we're not asking you to raise that, but if you keep it flat onto that white, it will just give a texture to your paper. So it gives you this beautiful aesthetic. When you look into that with all the feathers going through and how that spans in with the vignettes here and how you can just see how that texture comes behind, it's really, really important. It gives us those beautiful extra elements that we need. So when you get your light works, what I do, I know lots of people like to keep all your Carnation collections together. I have a tendency to separate things out like my light works. So I keep all of my light works together throughout all the collections so that I can just go to them because I use them a lot as texture and background.
And one more.
And then we have got another one that I don't know the name of. Shh.
Graceful Grass.
Thanks, you, Taz.
Graceful Grass. Great. I don't know your name, Dave, most days, so you know.
I don't know my own name most days.
So again, these elements, so I've used this a lot. This is a beautiful, it's very large, so you're not looking at a tiny piece here, and it's gorgeous coming through the back of, behind the stag, behind the owl, and especially behind those florals. It looks beautiful.
So those are all the kind of images, as it were.
There's
Still
another,
more.
Dave.
Oh, yeah,
There's
forgot about this
another.
one.
Carnation just,
Keep giving.
they keep giving, kid. This is Through the Seasons? Am I making that up? It's through the
Yeah,
seasons.
through the seasons.
I remembered one. And this is where you've got these gorgeous corner elements. So your tree stump coming through. Really important for cards when we've got our corner elements because they give you that visual aesthetic going in and it gives you the line going across. If you're doing an 8x8, you can have those on all four corners. So again, you then get that kind of visual going inside to the card.
Now, the next dies we're about to show you, they're nesting dies, but with a big, big difference, aren't they? Because they're actually frames, not just nesting dies.
And they are beautiful.
Stunning. Silver birch.
Now, what's beautiful about these, and you can't really see it just on these pieces here, is that each one of these is a tree trunk, and I'll show you that in colour. So you can download the vignette for these, and this is what they look like. Now, yes, they're nested dies. Yes, that's incredibly important, and they're really, really useful, and I love them so much. Normally, obviously, with a nested die, you'll use the size that you need. When I was making cards with these, for a lot of them, I used most of those nested dies and just created that gorgeous depth that goes through. However, what you can do is cut these edges off, and if you cut lots of the edges and have them on your card, and you could have the stag going through, or you could have the owl going through, they work as a forest.
To be fair though, Carla, what other company do you know of that gives you artwork for nesting dies?
None of them.
No. So,
None.
Carnation do.
And I think it works, doesn't it? And the glorious thing is, cut them out in white and they're still beautiful. Yeah. They work on their own just in white as something, you know, extraordinarily pretty. But to have them in those colours, and especially because we're dealing with wildlife, so you've got the blue of the sky, essentially, it just works. So pretty.
So those are your rectangles. We then give you two other shapes, the square and the circle. There's the square one.
So you've got your squares here, again, super useful, and it's also useful to know that, for instance, the circle, which we're coming to here, looks glorious when we have it with the rectangle behind it, you know, to place that on top to give you a different shape to your card. Really, really stunning. This collection, I said yesterday, when I was on, you know, everyone was on Easter holidays, and I messaged Mark and Nick and said, literally, you've knocked it out of the park. This is one of the best collections I have seen in the lot. It's just heartbreakingly pretty.
Well, it's certainly one of my favourites. It really is. Before we do any more, I just want to give you a big heads up if you are one of the many fantastic crafters that make cards for Carnation, the design team. Lindsay Atherton has done this. Now, this is a card, if this was sent to me, it would never be off my mantelpiece. It would be there constantly. You've got the two deer there, side by side, because you've got the left and the right, the back and the forward from your vignettes. But isn't that just absolutely stunning? With the posies there, the deer is incredible. The beautiful circular frame of the silver birch as well. Here's Linda.
Linda!
Looking for Linda, there she is. Linda, this is done by Pam Simpson.
That was him, not
me.
That was me,
sorry.
That was him.
You've dropped one, no, I've got one.
He did it.
We'll have words after the show.
We will.
Okay.
We need a bigger desk. Let's have a look at this one. This is Janine. Hello, Janine. She's done this one, Janine Dawson. Again.
She's here on Facebook.
Oh, is she? Hello, Janine. Hiya. You're more than a friend, this one says. Now, this is an easel card. Let's just open this up for you. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? That's done by Lavinia.
Beautiful. And again, an example of where we're cutting out those nested dies in white. So don't feel like you've got to use the vignettes if you don't want to on those nested, because it works either way.
Lavinia's done this one as well, Sending Love. Look at that beautiful barn owl swooping in. Isn't it absolutely gorgeous? Now remember, this collection, it's launching today. It's exclusive for the time being as well. You can't find this anywhere else apart from here on Carnation Crafts TV. The product number is 220414. You can buy it now in the shop, of course, if you'd like to, which is carnationcrafts.co.uk. £124.99. Now that is a saving of virtually £45 off the price. Now in the first 15 minutes, well, we told you that 10% of the stock had gone. Now 20% of the entire stock has gone. Lots of you ordered it last night when it became available at 5 o'clock on Carnation's website. Now you can order it and you can see it for real and for real life in your living room, on your computer, on your phone, on your tablet, wherever you're watching us. And we do this every month. We bring you a brand new launch exclusive to Carnation Crafts TV every single month, and this is the second one that we've done. The first one was a massive success. This is the second one from our dedicated studio here with the lovely Carla and myself, Dave Bradford. If I didn't introduce myself earlier, apologies. I'm Dave Bradford and I come along and do the launch every month, so really enjoying it. If you want to get hold of it, remember you're going to get all of the beautiful, wonderful wildlife. You're going to get those fantastic nesting frames as well, and down the bottom there you're also going to get that lovely fern and the white work too. All of that together for £124.99. Clear Pay and also PayPal Pay in 3 is available if you want to spread the costs interest free. Here's more details about it though.
Carnation Crafts TV brings you our new and exclusive collection, Nature in Motion. This gorgeous collection is filled with striking animals set to be a head-turner for any occasion, and the cut lines give off a beautiful detailed finish. This collection includes your Fauna in Motion, silver birch frames, peonies with poise, lightwork feature fan, graceful frass, and through the seasons die set. And this is yours to take home before seeing it anywhere else. Nature in Motion is also perfect for you to mix and match with your previous collection, Nature's Grace. Carnation Crafts even have an open angel policy, which allows you to make and sell all your completed projects. Don't forget to download the free vignettes on our website, www.carnationcrafts.co.uk. Happy crafting with our fabulous collection, Nature in Motion.
There we are. That's the latest collection from Carnation Crafts, and if you're brand new to Carnation, welcome to a journey that I know you're going to love, but I'm sure thousands of you watching right now have been fans of Carnation Crafts for such a long time, and it's only recently that we started having our own TV channel. There it is, Carnation Crafts TV. So if you just found it for the first time, welcome. Interact with us, please get in touch, either on YouTube, I've got YouTube here on my tablet, or on the email as well, or through Facebook. Email address is studio@carnationcrafts.co.uk.
I did not steal a die offset. You cannot prove it.
Cameras never lie. That one's coming home with me later, I tell you.
If that card with them two goes missing later,
You'll know where it is. My back pocket.
So I want to talk to you about that Vault and Deer, and I want to talk to you about split dies, because it's something that I think we can all make more of. And it's one of the questions we get asked a lot, where people say, well, I got my dies home, but one of them's broken. It's broken. It's not broken. It's supposed to be broken. So when you get these, and I'll just hold this, can you see on the overhead? Is that easier, Taz? So when you get these, you can see just at the top, can you see it's broken?
Yep.
It's not broken. It's not. Basically what this is a split die. Now lots of Carnation crafts, if you go through your old collections, you'll see lots of them have these split dies in them. And it's so we can do what's called an over the card, or over the card shape really, isn't it?
Yeah.
So basically you would just use one half of the die and you would cut over, and I'll show you what I mean in a second. So that means we've got a lot more scope, because if we want to do both of them together, well, you know, you can turn around and say, well, that's great, but I don't want to do half, and now I've lost a die. What was the point? Well, it still works, because if I can get this back the right way round,
it just gives you more
it's the wrong way
versatility,
round,
doesn't it?
So if you push those together onto a piece of paper and just use a tiny bit of tape,
Yeah.
once they're together, it still forms as one die.
Right.
So you can use it as one die, or you can use it as two. So it means you're getting double for your money. Because over the edge cards take that wee bit longer, we have a tendency to not demo them so much, just because it takes a bit longer. So I'm going to use today, if that's all right, to just kind of bring those in, because I think the stag particularly is amazing for
I reckon
it.
a lot of people watching will be wondering what to do with them, so it's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, I think so many people have said on the page, like, I bought these and I don't really know what I'm supposed to do with it, and that's absolutely fine. So I've taken an 8x8, as I often do, so nothing different there. I've got my red liner tape down the side. I scored as I would normally, but that's where that similarity stops. Normally you'll know that as a temp base I would put 2 of those together. Instead, what I'm going to do is take my mats and layers, and I've used the Perfect papers. So Carnation have Perfect papers for every collection that they do.
Now, just to let you know, they are the Perfect papers. They match or coordinate spectacularly well with the artwork. So I know a lot of you, as a matter of course, when a new collection comes out, you put that into your basket. Now that's $14.99. You get 48 sheets, 300 GSM, but the colours just work so well with the collection. If you're in the USA, by the way, your P&P for the collection is £4.95. If you add the papers in though to your collection, they'll just charge you £10 more. So $14.95 for your delivery if you're in the US. But of course, bearing in mind, if you're outside the UK, you don't have to pay the VAT. So that more than makes up for that. So everybody's happy, really.
Yep, absolutely. If you don't want Perfect papers, by the way, and if you want something else, if you want some Pro print or something like that, you still have to order it through as your Pro print with your collection. But just put a note in saying,
You'd rather have Pro print or...
send me Pro print, and put the GSM down and they'll send you a different, whatever it is that you want. You don't have to stick with that. It's just it'll go through as Pro print, but put your note on. So I've got my score line there, and then I've got those 2 backing papers which I've put together, and I've created the 2 tabs at the back here just so I can use the slip and slide to get that into place. This is slightly shorter or less wide. Shorter. No, because if it was shorter it wouldn't be... What's the word if it's less wide?
Less wide. Yeah. Narrower.
Good one.
Yeah.
We like it when
I knew I was here for a reason.
So what we're going to do is try and not stick my false nail to that edge, and we're just going to place this. So just bear with me. I can't get it quite straight because otherwise I'm going to put my head in front of the camera. So just bear with. So if I place that about there, so I've still got a border. And I've still got my sticky edge here. So if you were doing this at home, obviously you wouldn't take that sticky edge off first. You'd wait until you'd got to that stage. Now, because we've got all of those layers in the die, so we've got your mat and we've got your main vignette, so these 2 second ones, it means we can create a background for our stag to sit on.
So it just gives a little tiny frame around it.
Well, if you're canny with it and you put it at a certain point, it acts actually as a drop shadow.
Ah, right.
If you put it very centrally, it will act as a mat. It's up to you which way you take it. You can either use it as a drop shadow or use it as a mat.
Both are effective.
Yeah, really. And it just depends what effect you're going for on the card. But then what I've done is on my second piece here, we have taken, so you can see I've folded that in and I folded that edge down. There's no point stealing that, Miss Taz, because I need it for this demonstration. You're going to have to wait. I can see what you're trying to do.
I'll put it
It's
back
not
on the display.
happening.
Don't worry, I'll put it back on the display.
You can have the piece of plastic.
Oh, thanks.
It's all right.
That'll look
anytime.
fantastic.
That'll be ace. So what we're doing is I took... They've put me off. They've put me off. I took my second 8x8 piece and I scored it down the centre at 4. And then what I did was take my outside die and I placed it to that fold line. Right there. I taped it and I put the die through. Okay, and I took away the rest of that edge, and that just gives me that outline. Now, I don't want to have that piece of fold line showing because I don't think it looks very neat, and also because I was probably eating chocolate or something else that I shouldn't have been doing. It's a little bit mucky.
That's more like it.
That's as you would expect from me. So I don't want that sitting there. So what I'm going to do is first off place it on top of here, so right to my edge. So I've still got my edge to edge, and you can see that that goes across. And then let's disguise it. So I've taken one of the free backing papers off the website.
Oh, so not just vignettes on the website?
No, you get your free backing papers, you also get inserts, and they're all free for you to download. Please do make use of them because they are designed to work with the perfect papers and the vignettes.
If you go to the website, just go to the shop area. That's where you'll find the free downloads, the free vignettes and the free papers as well. And you'll also see, of course, previous collections as well that might take your fancy while you're there too. But whatever you do, take advantage of the free artwork. I love the fact that, okay, you purchase it from us today, you have to wait a day or two for the delivery, but not too long at all. But you get the beauty and the enjoyment of seeing the artwork right now. No delay whatsoever.
Yeah, I think people were downloading them last night. You
Yeah.
can get them downloaded, get them printed, see what you're getting, and it's just a really nice way to start your crafting journey with this collection. I've taken all the bits and bats off the back of there, so it's sticky, and I'm just going to place it over. So all I'm doing is disguising that fold line because I don't like it. So we're just going to place this over the top. And so now I've got that beautiful silhouette of the stag coming through. And now I've got options with this dude. Like I say, I can use him as a drop shadow, or I can use him as a matte or layer. I'm going to opt for the drop shadow just for this example. And he will place, because it's your mattes and layers, can you see? He will place exactly over that split die that we used. It's designed to be perfect. So first thing that I'm going to do is just remove my foam tape. What I've done here is put the foam tape right down the center, and it means where his bottom is, where his legs are, if I want to, I can tuck things behind without that impeding me. So I've been canny where I've put it. Remember, any adhesive, I say this every time, is sticky, so you don't need masses.
It is such an honour, I think, to be working with this artwork, to be able to produce cards or even make wonderful pictures to put in your home, hang on the wall. You can sell what you make as well, which is fantastic.
I mean, we don't want to say it too much because, you know, we don't want Nick getting like really excited with himself and feeling, you know, we have to keep him in check.
I wish I could paint like that.
Shh, that's not what we tell him.
Oh, okay.
He is very clever. So we're going to take the ball tool. Now we're using larger areas, but because we're using that musculature, so I'm not going in and sort of destroying the whole area. And normally I would tell you to work with a smaller ball tool on the edges, but because we want the muscle tone to go through, I want the ball tool to do the work just in certain smaller areas on the larger area. So I'm just going in and I'm just gently going round on the specific points
where
that are going to
muscles
make
and
a
things
difference.
like that. Yeah.
Absolutely. So if I go in at the same point here with the same ball tool, what's going to happen is I'm just going to end up with 3 domes. So on his tummy, I'm going to go in with the smaller side of the ball tool and just work around Nick's shading. So remember, use that shading to your advantage and use the fact that you've got the double-sided vignettes to give you those visuals. For his rump, if you like, I'm going to go in first with the smaller edge, just break my fibres around the edge of that paper, then take the ball tool, go in a little more and work it that way, and then I'm just going to go in with his cheeks. Now I could go to town and I could do the eyes, I could do every single element, and if I was sending this to somebody I absolutely would, but just for the sake of this demo, let's just take him out. Where you see the larger cut lines here that are just involved in the die, we're going to use those to straighten out his body shape and just make even more of what we've just done. So we're shaping and shaping each part.
And he's a character really that is multi-seasonal. I mean, he comes into his own at Christmas, obviously, but all year round, a fantastic image.
Yeah, I mean, this obviously isn't a Christmas collection particularly. It's more of a summer collection,
But it could
really,
be.
but he could be either or. And we're just going to place, some pin flare, and I'll put some on his bottom, which is usually where I end up with it by the end of the day. And then we're just going to place him down. And I want to drop shadow him. So remember, I'm placing him towards the edge of that mat rather than having him shading out from behind. He's shading out from in front. So it's just to give the illusion of light coming across. Already we have something pretty extraordinary there. Let's go in with this. I mean, that's nothing really. We haven't. I mean, I think that's already beautiful.
It is.
And I think that's the joy of this collection. You can't step wrong on this collection. Your cards are going to be epic.
And as we said before, if you did get Nature's Grace, maybe about a year ago or thereabouts, this ties in with it beautifully, but it stands alone equally as well. So whether you've got it or whether you haven't, this is Nature in Motion, the brand new launch exclusive.
I'm just placing that silver birch central there. It looks like a moon.
It does.
It looks like he's in the moon. He's not in the moon, but he could be. Right, those tree stumps. Now, you'll see that this is already circular. What I've done, you know how I love my foam tape. I like my 5mm when I'm doing something really deep. So I've got 2 on top of each other. So I've got a full centimetre's worth of foam tape here stuck together. And I'm just pinching around it. I'm using that to shape it. So I'm not going in with a ball tool, don't need to. I'm just using that as a shape. And what I'm going to do is place this into this corner and I'm going to over edge it. So we're just going over the edge. And that will visually give us a cross where he goes over the edge. So we're using that element. So a lot of the time with card making, we're using the space that doesn't exist, as in this space, along with the space that does. And it just creates a stronger effect.
And also, if you're a beginner or you're not very confident about composition, where to put things, don't stick things down to start with. Just put them down without any glue or without any sticky foam pads and see what looks right. Play.
Do you know what? This is the advice that every professional card maker will say. They'll say, don't stick it down. Take photos once you've done your composition.
Yep,
work
good idea.
out where you like it. Do you know what I say? Stick it down. Make your mistakes. Enjoy it. Learn it. Love it. Breathe it. That's what it's about. Make your mistakes. Absolutely stick it down. Then go, do you know what? That didn't work, and that's absolutely fine. And take the photos of the ones that didn't work as well, and then you know. I'm not into the whole let's get it perfect. There's no perfect crafting. Play and have fun.
Have a dabble, have a go.
Have a dabble.
Everyday glue you'll find on the website as well.
And the applicators. And then I'm just placing this in. No glue on here for me, just at the bottom, because I just want it to sit and I want it to move. I'm only using it as a feathered piece. Use my pokey to shove that down so that it sticks. Hey, look, my tree's on the hoof. My tree's on the hoof! And then I'm just going to come in at this side. So I'm going to sort of garnish my circle. Little bit of a ball tool on these florals. I'm nearly done. Sorry, guys.
That's right. We're actually here for 3 shows today, so if you've just switched on or just found us and thinking, oh no, I'm halfway through, we're back at 1 and we're also back at 5 o'clock this afternoon.
Oh, it's a busy day.
It is a busy day. And we've got a lunch date, haven't we?
We've got lunch date,
Nice.
Dave.
Nice.
I'm doing you some stuff,
Spag
Dave.
bowl.
I'm doing you some bolognese. Let's do that. No wine. Don't you be
Oh.
saying wine and beer in my ear. That is not allowed.
6 o'clock, that's allowed.
6 o'clock we can do that, yeah. I mean, totes. I think I'd say that was necessary.
It's not like coming to work, is it?
I do.
But don't tell them.
It is, Mark and Nick, very much like work. And then we're going to take in just this last corner piece, and I'm just going to sort of solve that, if you like. And all I'm doing is placing down, because that feather sits, I just want this behind it. And I'm just taking through that white space and I'm parrying. So I'm getting that mirror and I'm leaving that free because I want my stag to be my focal point on that piece.
I don't know how many Carnation Crafts collections you own at home, but think about how all the collections you've already got are going to work in with this as well, because that's something that Carnation pride themselves on.
Can you imagine if you sat with every single collection you owned and just...
Went for
Actually,
it.
I say that. I do that.
You do that, yeah?
Quite a lot, really, yeah. So I don't know why I'm getting quite so giddy. And then I'm just framing that out with that final rose so that I've got my line that draws down and my colour aspects. Those florals, I think, are Carnation's best florals. I'm just saying. Right, and then if I can, without all of this sliding off, I'm just going to open that out. Can we see that from the front? Will that work?
It's coming. Look at that. Absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. 220414. It is called, of course, Nature in Motion. That's the brand new collection from Carnation. It's only literally half an hour old. We launched it a half an hour ago. This is only the second launch we've had on Carnation Crafts TV. And the first one was such a runaway success. This is the second, and there'll be another one each and every month to look forward to. Exclusive to us for the time being. You can't find this anywhere else apart from here on Carnation Crafts TV and on, of course, Carnation Crafts website. That's where you can order it right now, carnationcrafts.co.uk. It's £124.99, saving you £45 £2 off what the price should be. And also you've of course got free UK postage, no P&P to pay whatsoever if you're buying the main collection in the UK. If you're buying it in the US or abroad, it's £4.95. And if you do want to add in your perfect papers as well, there'll be a £10 charge on top, so £14.95 in total. If you want pro papers in place of the perfect papers, you can just put that in the note box when you place your order and it will be obviously put in there for you. But of course, if you're not in the UK, you won't have the VAT to pay like we have to in the UK, so that cancels that out really, and some. So today's the day to purchase it if you'd like. Shall I tell everyone who's won the £500 credit? Shall I do that?
Do it!
Should we do that?
Do it.
Should we put you out of your misery? Okay, let me tell you. What we asked you to do, remember, a little while ago was to subscribe to YouTube, which literally hundreds and thousands of you have done, like a Facebook post that we sent out, and then tag a friend in it. And lots of you did just that. And the prize is, for one person in the UK, £500 credit on your account with Carnation. And if you're abroad, rest of the world, one person from whichever country will get the equivalent of £500 credit on their account as well. So let's give you the name of those two winners. First things first, we have got the UK winner is Helen Crossland. Helen, woo! All we need you to do is contact customer services, email customer services at carnationcrafts.co.uk, and you will have your £500 credit added to your account. And the winner in the rest of the world, we're not sure what country you're in, but this is the winner from abroad, Audrey Burton. Audrey Burton, well done, Audrey. You've got the equivalent of £500 credit going onto your account as well. And if you too could also contact customer services at carnationcrafts.co.uk, we can sort that out for you. So many, many congratulations, and more prizes and more competitions coming soon. Now, while we just get ready for our next demo, let me show you some more beautiful finished samples. I'll tell you what, this deer is a firm favourite with lots of you. Sue Dalrymple, I think it is. Sue, hello. Sue Dalrymple, she's done that one, absolutely stunning. A double deer, again, that's Sue, has done this one. Male and female, snip off the antlers.
Aye.
Good idea.
Yeah.
They want to be together. This is just using the posies. This is, again, Sue has done this one.
Aren't they beautiful, those
Beautiful.
florals?
And look at this barn owl. Oh, the movement that's been captured in the artwork is nothing short of sensational. Eric, the barn owl?
Yeah.
Does he know Linda?
They're good friends.
Are they?
I had a bit of a fallout at bingo once, but they're fine.
There's a fantastic easel card. And look at the layers on this one. The layers on this barn owl. Eric. Pam's done that one, Pam Simpson. I mean, the images are amazing. If you want just the images on the top shelf, by the way, they are available as a separate item. If you just want the characters, if you just want the deer, the kingfisher, basically the top row here, you can buy that separately. That's on the website as well. There it is. Look, so if you just want those, $49.99 plus $2.95 UK P&P. The best value, though, as ever, is to go for the whole collection. You're going to get your nesting dies. You're going to get the silver birch nesting dies. There's even artwork for those as well, which you can print off right now. Circles, rectangles and squares, or diamonds if you turn the square quarter turn. And then down the bottom shelf you've then got those beautiful ferns and your white work there as well. The whole collection is the latest from Carnation Crafts. 220414 is your item number. Whatever you do, don't miss out on this. And remember, if you've got time, join us for 1 o'clock and also 5 o'clock shows a bit later on, but this is more about it.
Carnation Crafts TV brings you our new and exclusive collection, Nature in Motion. This gorgeous collection is filled with striking animals set to be a head-turner for any occasion, and the cut lines give off a beautiful detailed finish. This collection includes your fauna in motion, silver birch frames, peonies with poise, lightwork feature fan, graceful frass, and through the seasons die set. And this is yours to take home before seeing it anywhere else. Nature in Motion is also perfect for you to mix and match with your previous collection, Nature's Grace. Carnation Crafts even have an open angel policy, which allows you to make and sell all your completed projects. Don't forget to download the free vignettes on our website, www.carnationcrafts.co.uk. Happy crafting with our fabulous collection, Nature in Motion.
Isn't it gorgeous? I've just got to show you this one. Janine, you've excelled yourself again. All the design team have done fantastic cars, but it is actually. I'm not kind of downing anybody or anything like that, but when you've got a Carnation craft collection, it's very hard not to make a good card, isn't it?
And it is. It really is. Oh, it's the thing. We always say that, don't you? You can't make a bad card with Carnation. I did say yesterday, when I was making the demos for this one, I literally did not want to stop making the demos because every card was stunning, and there's a real sense of pride when you make something beautiful, and it, you know, to have that helping hand as well is awesome. I love that.
It's very easy to fall in love with Carnation Crafts, and the artwork's amazing, the design incredible. Yeah, and if you love your nature, treat yourself to this today. 220414. We've still got 20 minutes on this show, which is fantastic. So enough time to do hopefully another demonstration. And remember, you can email us. You can email studio@carnationcrafts.co.uk. You can get in touch via YouTube, as quite a few of you have done, and also, of course, on Facebook. Send a message, and Carla's got her Facebook open over there, so we can actually see your messages coming in, which is fantastic. I'm Dave Bradford. This is Carla, and this is the launch of the second collection on Carnation Crafts TV. And already well over 20% of that stock has gone. We've got loads more live shows today and tomorrow and the next day as well. Right then.
Now, when you say my name and it's doing like an auto interpret on there, it calls me Carl.
Carl.
I feel like that could be like my weekend name.
I'm not going to tell you what my weekend name is.
We know it's already Barbara. We already know. Like worst kept secret ever. Right, in order to make the next card, I'm using the rectangular birch, and I'm using the largest die of the set there, so that creates my base card. So I cut it twice, and I'm using the Carnation Crafts Perfect Smooth 350. I always go for that for my base cards, and there is a good reason for choosing the 350, and it's because it's sturdy. Now, obviously, especially when we're using Carnation, we tend to build up weight at the front of those cards, so you need something that's going to support it. So 350, I would say, would be your good average for a base card. I know sometimes people use lighter cardstock; it's entirely your choice. But when you're somebody like me and you're a little bit clumsy, you walk past them, they just waff all over the place. So I need something a bit more sturdy. So I'm just placing those together, pushing them down. That creates my tent base. All done. My card is sorted. Obviously, I'm going to probably decorate it a bit, you know.
Just a bit.
Just put some stuff on it. Otherwise I'll get fired. Right, I've got 3 lines of foam tape here. Now, I am huge fan of chunky cards, of building up with foam tape. But you'll notice on these ones, I am only using 1mm foam tape, and it's because I'm going to build up so many layers, so I'm keeping that drop low. It's up to you what you do, but there's times when sometimes less is more, and this is one of them. So I'm just pulling down my tabs so I can get that into place, and I'm going to pop it onto here.
So you're not using the middle strip?
No, that's just
there for support.
It's there to support the middle, because otherwise it's going to sag. Because I've got the 2 lines going this way, you always support the centre with the same point that you support the outside edges, and it just keeps the centre of your card raised so that nothing's going to kind of festoon inwards.
Nothing worse than a saggy middle.
I would know.
Ditto.
Happened to me several years ago, and I've never been able to find the end of it. Anyway, carrying on, we're just going to use the second row here, and I'm just placing down. Now I'm going to centralise these. Can you see on these how they just snip at it?
Oh,
Isn't
they're
that
not
so
attached?
clever? They are attached, but they're only attached by pips.
Oh, okay.
So you can take away the centrepiece and have, it's like a forest. So if I was to take this away, I'm not going to because I need it for the demo, but if I was to take that centre point away, place those 2 out and cut another couple, I could create a forest of trees.
Nice.
And weave between.
Do you know what? I've never seen a silver birch nesting die set like that. I've seen like faux stitching and stuff like that,
Yeah.
but never like that.
This is, I get tired of saying how great Carnation are, really, but they are amazing at doing what they're, I know it's my job to say Carnation are great, but there's a point at which you're like, everything they make is amazing, and all the nested dies that they've done I love, because they've done all the crystalline ones, the shabby ones.
Well, I was so flattered when the guys at Carnation rang me and they said, would you be a presenter on Carnation Crafts TV? I had no idea that they said to me that they'd seen my passion for Carnation. They knew how much I loved it, and it's absolutely true. It was one of the shows I always used to look forward to doing. So,
well, I think because you always know that you're giving the customer quality, that matters, and I think the fact that you always know it's going to be beautiful, so it's always a pleasure to kind of do the shows, isn't it, because it's always going to be pretty. Now I'm placing that light work here. I'm just going to place it up by the corners. It is going off slightly, and that's kind of what I'm wanting, And I'm going to do the same at the bottom. Now I can't go off the edge because obviously if we stand that card up, you're going to have a waffy bit at the bottom, which you don't want. So you just got to be relatively, you know, aware of your placements. Use your tiny applicators. Don't use one that's 2 days old like this one, because then it'll have all glue clagged up. When you're getting ready for shows that are on the telly box, make sure you're prepared, so that you don't get into trouble after the show. Just little tips for life like this help, I think.
Now, obviously they're feathers, but also they could be angels' wings, couldn't they?
They totally could.
They could be all sorts of things, really.
Aren't they pretty?
Yeah.
I love the shadow that you just get from the underside of that. They're just so gorgeous.
If you back them with acetate and maybe colour them in with alcohol pens, they would look absolutely beautiful.
Just?
Yeah, lots of potential.
So I'm going in with the circle one now, and you'll see I've raised my foam tape. So now from going from the 1mm, I'm now going up to the 3mm on this set. And I'm going to take this completely the way off. Normally I would tell you to just very carefully kind of build. But for this, I'm taking it all off because I just need to place it and make sure I've got it more. If you've placed these and they're not exactly where you want to be, and it can happen, remember when we're putting the circle on top, you don't have to have it smack bang central. You can, of course, have it aligned down the bottom, down the top. You can do whichever. So just play it with your dimension. I am going for the central because it's what I want to achieve. But, you know, it's up to you to just play, look at your dimension and your placement. So I placed those down, but I want to get these leaves in underneath. And the reason I waited is because I needed to know that they're in the right place. So I wanted that on first. Your foam tape is in such a place. Obviously, you don't use too much. It means we can tuck things behind. So I'm just going to use this. Little bit of daubing on here. I never ever place, you'll know from me now doing demonstrations, I never glue completely to the edges because I like the motion that I get and the light work and the play that comes when they're lifted slightly.
And isn't it exciting to know that you're getting this ahead of everybody else? No one else apart from those watching Carnation Crafts TV right now have access to this collection. So you're getting it first. It pays to keep in touch with us on social media so you know what's happening, what's launching. You'll see this elsewhere later, but not for a little while. So get in now today and you'll be one of the first to make cards with this collection.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say unless anything mad happens in the world, for some of you, not all of you, there's no guarantee because we don't control the post, but for some of you that order this today, you'll have it in your paws tomorrow.
Wow. Don't blame us if it doesn't arrive tomorrow, but some of you probably will get it tomorrow.
Carnation will do everything they can to get it to you
Yep.
as quickly as it possibly can be got to you. Right, on here I've created my second circle and I've got You Are Wonderful. I'm going to go out here and just say that even that plane, that is pretty beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the point, isn't it? I think that's what the point that I'm always trying to raise. Let's go in with some of these florals. So I'm just going to place that sentiment on the centre so I can visually see where I'm going with it. Then I'm going to use these florals. I'm going to turn this upside down and I'm just going to use my ball tool. Now we're running fairly short on time, so I don't want to spend too long doing this, but I'm not going to rush it either. So you'll have to wait for me under these
We've got all the time in the world.
Sorry, Taz. And then I'm just going to place, and I'm just doing the main flowers here where I'm shaping, and it's just to give it that dimension. If you really want to go to town, take the very smallest ball tool that you've got and work your edges. But I'm not going to do all of that here now, obviously, because I'd get into trouble.
Now, when you do double vignettes like that, front and the back, what sort of GSM paper do you print onto for those?
Well, I always print on 120 Pro paper, and you know, I've said it before, I'll say it again, Pro paper, best friend. It is going to give you the colour that you want. You won't get that colour. You will not get that saturation of colour by using something that is not Pro print paper. So it depends what effect you're looking for.
And we've got that on the website, yeah?
It'll be on the, in the shop area of the Carnation Crafts website.
Right.
You'll find it there and you can add that to your basket. Like I say, if you don't want the perfect papers and you're abroad, you can obviously add in something else. So if you wanted to have a go at Pro Paper, the 120 is your best friend as far as doing double-sided vignettes is concerned. A double-sided vignette, for those of you who don't know, when you print it, it will have a black line down the centre. You fold it on the black line. You don't fold it in half. You make sure you're going for that black line. And once you've done that and you stick it together with some spray glue, pop your die on top, pop it through your machine, And that gives you a double-sided vignette, which means you've got colour on both sides, and that means it's then 240 GSM.
And that was actually a happy accident. They discovered it purely by chance, and now it's become a thing. You know, I don't know if anyone else does double-sided artwork now, but we certainly do, and we were the first.
Yeah, Nick is, I mean, I think he was purposeful in his desire to make it happen, and I think he sort of finally kind of worked it out more as an experimentation, and then he finally got it and he perfected it. And I think it's something that's a lot more complicated than it seems to get them to absolutely reflect on one side of paper to another. But again, we don't like to tell him he's a genius too often, because he tends to then start believing it. So we're best off keeping him on his toes. Bless him. Also, if you're listening, Nick, don't fire me. I need my job.
We're having a massive reaction to this collection, as I thought we would. Everybody's loving it. And it's multi-seasonal. I mean, not every collection that comes out from other card manufacturers, you can say that it's worthy of putting in a frame and putting on the wall. Everything Carnation produces can make wonderful cards, but can also make wonderful scenes. You can build scenes with it and tell a story in a picture frame.
Home decor, you can do pieces for gifting, you know, all the aspects. You saw the card that was that you held up. I don't know which one it was, but it's got like the two with the floating Kingfisher, I think, where it's got the like two little gift tags on the side, so you can add in those gifts. We're just going to place this here. This is the You Are Wonderful stamp from Carnation. I'm just going to place that on there. We've got foam tape between those two layers, so we're creating dimension. Once that's on, all I'm going to do is with this just very gently tease up those edges so that I can create some depth just between, and rotate that round. That's just going to give me that extra bit of oomph. And that is something extraordinary, using just the light work, the florals, and then obviously your nested dies. And I think that's the point with Carnation. Using very little, very, very little, you can create something absolutely breathtaking.
So stunning cards, either with or without the animals and the characters that are in this collection. You're going to have so much fun working with this, building scenes, telling stories. That's what every Carnation craft collection does. It tells a story, and you can tell that story in your way, wherever you may be. If you're watching us in the UK, welcome. You've got free postage. If you're watching us abroad, it's £4.95 P&P to get it to you. And remember, if you're putting the perfect papers in, or if you choose to substitute that for pro paper or whatever, that will be an extra £10 postage, shipping and handling, £14.95. But of course, you abroad don't pay the VAT, so that's going to be a big saving for you. So it more than covers your postage charges.
Did you like me photobombing you in the corner there?
Did you? Is that what you did?
If you go back to
I was looking at everyone at home. I
face,
wasn't looking down there.
Taz is saying to me, go and get the boards, and they're down here. So I was just kind of sneaking in. Also, I'm about to fall off my chair, and I'm
Shall I get them for you? Let me get them for you. No.
Had a bit of a sweat on then, Dave.
Oh, I almost split my
So
trousers then.
You almost what?
Oh, almost split my trousers. That would have been a TV moment, wouldn't it?
It's the day, isn't it? I nearly fell off the chair. I'm getting into a bit of a sweat. I don't know if it's postmenopausal or not. My belt's unclipped.
We forgot to
Your
turn the
trousers
aircon
have
on.
split.
We've got to turn the aircon on. That's what we did. Okay, now the boards. Let's show you the boards, because this shows you all the elements. You're going to get, remember, how many dies was it in total? I can't remember.
Yeah, it has. Come on.
76? Yeah, I think it was 76 dies in total in this collection. 220414. If you've never shopped with us before, because we are quite new, this TV station, all you've got to do is go to carnationcrafts.co.uk and then just basically put this collection in your basket and print off the vignettes at exactly the same time. Now 30% approximately of the entire stock is gone. This is the launch show on the launch day. No one else has got this. It's not on TV anywhere else. It's not in any shops yet either. Just exclusive to us for the time being, and that's what we do. Every month we do at least one launch for you that's exclusive to Carnation Crafts TV for a period of time anyway. Now, lady with the boards.
Air next door with the boards.
Next door, yep.
Oof. Right, I think I've recovered. So we've got this gorgeous, gorgeous barn owl here, which is known as the elegant owl. If you're trying to look for it on the website with as an individual with tippy-tappy names rather than the numbers. So elegant owl for this. Look how beautiful it is. I love all the colouring.
The owl's got nails like you.
Who else?
The owl's got nails like you.
Indeed. I think the owl probably doesn't have plastic ones. Just saying.
Talons.
That would be more appropriate for me. Then we have got the flighted Kingfisher, which is just, I love the colours of this. That's like an aquamarine sea blue, isn't it? There's something really rich about those colours with that beautiful yellow and the kind of oranges that come through that bring it all together. Linda is super, super pretty. You've got your beautiful peonies. What are they? Peonies? Poise?
Peonies with poise.
Aye, them. Just so pretty. So you've got your lovely corner element, that gorgeous, you've just seen me use it, that beautiful semicircle that comes round, ways to create those full circles. So by using those and just placing your elements around, you've got those gorgeous, you know, oppositions, and beautiful with the corners as well.
Yeah, totally.
Then you've got your, here he is,
My favourite.
Look at this lad, he's so handsome. I think he is, I'm going to go as far as to say I think it might be one of the best artworks.
I think so. It's certainly my favourite.
Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah. And Sue, can I just show the card that Sue did again? I didn't think of this, but of course if you snip away the antlers, suddenly you've got a male and a female. And that's what Sue did on this. Great thinking, Sue, because yeah, it does look really, really special. Look at that. They want to be together.
And if you added a third one and cut the antlers off and put a cup of tea in each one's hoof, be like us three.
Yes. Always.
Together this morning round the table.
I don't think we're majestic though, somehow.
You speak for yourself.
All right.
Oh, you might not be majestic with your split trousers. The rest of us are having a lovely time. Then we've got our gorgeous, gorgeous light work here, which you've just seen how important that is at breaking up the background. It's really, really pretty. We need those elements. They are the things that, they're the unsung heroes. They're the things that we don't necessarily look at, but they are the things that finish those cards off for us.
If you cut that out 4 times, would that make a full circle?
Yes.
Great.
So you'd be able to make a complete circle going through. Actually, if you were to cut it 6 times and kind of overlap slightly, you'd get the most glorious effect from that. I might try that later. Really, really pretty. I love this. What is it that my mum used to have in a jug in the house, and there was loads of these?
Pampas grass, would it be?
I don't know. What do you mean, how are you supposed to know? Well, you won't, because you're only, 15. The rest of us are older. My mum used to have it, and it was like fluffy.
Yeah, I think it's pampas grass.
It was inside the house in a bucket.
Yeah, I used to have some of that.
Did you? And it was sort of floofy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we've got this, which is your seasonal through the seasons. So you've got this gorgeous corner piece. We used that on the first card that we made. Corner piece is always going to be important. So you can see this coming through here with your floofy bit from my mum's book kit from home.
And the floofy bits make all the difference.
They do, aren't they?
Because they're kind of, away from the card. It casts a bit of a shadow as well.
What's it called?
Graceful grass.
Graceful
grass, but you can call it floofy. It's fine. So just all of those gorgeous elements that come through. I love this. With all the little mushrooms. Can you see all the little mushrooms on the tree stump? It's like a fairy garden.
It is. It could be. Make your own fairy garden.
And then we go into our nested. So you've seen me use these today, and you've seen me use them in every demo. You're going to see us use them in pretty much all demos because they're so versatile. Again, cut them in white, cut them in blue. Either way, you get those gorgeous nested dies that come through, and it just means you're getting all of your extra elements. Each die, I believe, has got the central one too, and so you could just use it as just the frame, by the way. You're not forced to use the inserts if you don't want, and you can take the silver birch away. So you've got all of those elements. We're not just looking at a one-trick pony with these. But again, using them together just makes the most glorious cards. So you've got your rectangle.
And your square.
Then you've got your square. Dave, totally trusted you to do the boards. Can't get the staff. You've got your square pieces there. And then you've got your circle.
I won't drop this one.
Yeah. Look how lovely they are. Is that one a bit skew whiff, or is that me?
No, you're right. Skew whiff. Or maybe
That
it's
looks-
meant to be like that.
It looks like a lizard's eye. Do you know what I mean? Is it a lizard? Is that what I'm thinking about? What's the one that hugs the trees? That changes colours?
Chameleon.
It's like a chameleon's eye.
Yeah.
It's not. It's nested silver birch stone. It's very beautiful, and that's the circle ones.
On that note, that's it.
That's nature
That's
in
it
motion.
for our launch show. Now, do bear in mind, if you want to get this, now's the time to order it while we've still got the stock, because 30% of the entire stock has gone. I hope you've enjoyed it. Whatever you do, join us back at 1 o'clock today, because we'll have another hour of inspiration. Take the hour between now and 1 to pop it in your basket and check out. That'd be a really good idea. And also, we've got another show at 5 o'clock. So if you can't make 1 o'clock for whatever reason, make sure you tune in at 5 o'clock this afternoon. That's UK time, but you can watch us, of course, wherever you are in the world. And you can order wherever you are in the world. In the UK, it's free postage on this fantastic collection. In the USA or abroad, it's £4.95 for the postage and £10 if you want to go for your perfect papers or your pro paper or whatever you want to go for. So that's £14.95 for shipping and handling for you, but you don't pay the VAT, so you save on that. 220414, here it is, all 76 dies. We counted them earlier on. We'll make you stunning cards. Whatever you do, make sure you join us in about an hour's time. We're going to go for a cup of tea and a group hug, probably.
A group hug.
Group hug, and we'll see you in about 60 minutes. Thanks for watching.